Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and in this video I want to show you the Beadalon elastic cord needle, which is great for making stretch bracelets, and we're going to make a stretch bracelet in this video as well, so you can really see it in action. So it is a long needle. It is 10.75 inches long. It has a nice little hook on the end to grab your stretch cord and a loop on the other end to act as a stopper for your beads as you string them on. So this is going to be the main tool that we're going to be using for this project. We are also going to be using a bead stopper and a pair of scissors. And then for supplies, I have some really pretty glass red beads, which just look very Christmassy to me if you are watching this during the holiday season. Some lovely TierraCast twisted spacers. So these have like this wonderful little twisted rope design on them. They're 6 millimeters. We're going to be using some Hypo cement to put a little glue on our knot when we're done, and our main stretch fiber is going to be the Opelon cord, and I've cut myself a little bit right here. So what's really nice about this particular tool is it lets you pre-string all your beads onto your needle ahead of time, and then in one swoop you're actually going to be able to get them onto your stretch cord. So I'm going to start by just putting my beads on, and you see they slide on very easily. One thing you do want to note is the size of the tip of this needle. Your hole size for your beads has to be 1 millimeter or larger in order for your beads to slide on. So do check to see what your hole size is. That's really the only limitation. So I'm just stringing these on, and once I have a few, I can just slide them down to the end, and that little loop is going to catch them and prevent them from falling off. This is nice because if you have a bunch of different beads you're working with, you can really see your design as you go before you put it onto your stretch cord. So I'm just going to keep going. I do like how stiff this needle is. It has some flexibility, but it's really strong enough to just pick up those beads for me, which is great. I'm doing a pretty simple design here, just alternating these pretty gold spacer beads with these vibrant red beads. Okay, and let me see how many I have on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And look at the size of my wrist. You can't bend this needle around, but you can kind of eyeball to see if you think you have enough beads. And we're going to be putting it on the fiber before we tie any knots. So if we discover that we don't have enough beads, we can always redo. And so I started with a red bead for this particular design. So I wanted to end with a gold bead. So when I loop it around, it's really nice, and it's just every other bead is the red and the gold. Now here is really the magic of this tool. I have my cut piece of my stretch cord. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loop it in here so that hook catches it. And I have a little tail. And now I'm going to put a bead stopper on the other end of my stretch cord, just in case when I'm lifting this up, the beads slide all the way down. So speaking of sliding down, here we go. Just like that, they're on the stretch cord. So simple. Now it shows much easier than trying to feed that wiggly cord through the beads one by one. So now that we've got all our beads on, I'm just going to see if this looks to be big enough. That looks like a good bracelet length for my wrist. At this point, I'll take off my bead stopper. I didn't need it, but it's really nice to have it there just so my beads didn't slide off. I'm going to make a circle, and I'm going to tie just a simple little knot. And then I'm going to do a double knot here, or a surgeon's knot. I want to make sure my beads are all together. There's no gaps, but that they're not too tight that they're stretching that cord ahead of time. There we go. And because my beads have a little bit of a larger hole, I'm going to make even another knot. And I'm going to pull. And now what I'm going to do is add a little bit of this Hypo cement to my knot. And I like this glue because it has a really fine applicator tip. And I'm just going to put it right over my knot. And then you to place the pin into the glue and save it for another project. Now once this glue is dry, I will just trim my tails, pull it a little bit, and that knot will slip into the bead. That is the plan. What I'm going to do right now is, because the glue is really just a precautionary method, I'm going to show you how to do that. I would recommend normally letting your glue dry thoroughly first, but I'm just going to trim my tails and then gently tug it, just so hopefully my hand's not in the way too much here. Just want that knot to really pull. There we go. It just pulled into that bead a little bit. And there we have a stretch bracelet using the Beadalon elastic cord needle. So great little tool if you love making stretch bracelets. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel.